let's say the moon bump conspiracies, fake kids, rental kids, all these sorts of things. I think some of the mainstream media do want to stay away from that, which I totally understand. I am not somebody who actually subscribes to the notion that Meghan used a surrogate. And the reason is, especially in the UK, that would have been exceptionally difficult to pull off. Now, was she vain enough to think sometimes that her belly didn't look the way she wanted it to and padded her belly? I could 100% believe that. And I understand why people question things. I understand it. So I don't think it's unfair to say, hey, people question.
We don't like you, Meghan Markle. We don't like you. And no amount of posting videos that you think are going to humanize you will make us like you. You've already shown us your true colors. We know who you are. You helped kill the Queen. You didn't give two shits about calling the royal family racist while Prince Philip was on his deathbed and casting aspersions on him. You have completely undermined all the amazing gifts that this family has given you as nothing and suggested that they didn't care you were suicidal and they were the ones who drove you there. So she has absolutely no love lost between her and most people who may be somewhat warm towards the royal family, even if we're not big on royalty. She's reportedly bullied virtually everybody who's ever worked for her. She can't keep a staff in London. She can't keep a staff in Montecito. She's a bully. She's obsessed with her own ego, face on television, etc., and playing the victim. So no amount of humanizing videos, even if she managed to find one, are going to work. You know, if you actually are a good person, you don't show up at the Uvalde mass school shooting and put yourself on camera and make it about you. You don't see photo op when you see dead children, which she did. So spare us the attempt, okay? It's a waste of everybody's time.
Well, good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Today, Harry and Meghan torched what little was left of their relationship with the royal family and what little was left, frankly, of their own reputations.
Meghan Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you watch it. SOT 24.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, hit the baby mama when I'm stepping through the door.
She's
yeah, I'm pregnant,
supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital room, dancing with a big belly. Harry's there too. She's kind of twerking. She's gonna twerk. Here comes Harry. She spreads her legs. She hikes her dress. She circles her genitals around and around. Okay. This is deeply problematic on a number of levels. Number one, here's the problem.
They lied to the palace, they lied to the public, and now the truth is finally coming out. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are facing the most serious scandal of their lives, and this time there's no escaping it. Royal insiders have confirmed what many suspected for years. The pregnancy story they told the world about baby Archie, it doesn't add up, not one bit. And behind palace doors, officials are now demanding answers. Let's start from the top. Meghan and Harry made a big show of announcing their pregnancy during a royal tour. Smiles, cameras, headlines, the world cheered. But while the public was celebrating, people inside the palace were already whispering. Something didn't feel right, and now those whispers have exploded into full-blown accusations. High-level palace aides, some who've served the royal family for decades, have come forward. They're saying the timeline doesn't match the medical records. They're saying Meghan's pregnancy was a fabrication, or at the very least, not what it appeared to be. This isn't just gossip. These are people who lived through it, people who worked side by side with the Sussexes and noticed the signs. First, there was the tight control over information. Meghan and Harry refused to share where Archie would be born. No hospital announcement, no royal photographers, no doctors named. And when the birth certificate finally came out, even that raised eyebrows. It was delayed, edited. Some details were left out. Royal births have always followed strict tradition. Every detail is documented, shared, verified, but with Meghan, the rules were suddenly tossed aside. And then came the photos, or the lack of them. Where were the usual baby bump moments, the glowing expectant mother pictures that every royal woman shares proudly? Meghan instead gave the world a few carefully staged photos, and in several of them her stomach appeared to change size and shape. Sometimes it looked large, other times almost flat. And then there were the moments where her belly actually moved, like a prop. Videos surfaced of Meghan bending down and the bump folding in a way that had people stunned. Experts called it bizarre. Doctors said it looked unnatural. Still, most of the press stayed quiet. They didn't want to touch it, but the internet didn't stay quiet. Thousands began pointing out how strange it all looked. Even more telling was Meghan's behavior. Normally, royal mothers follow clear schedules and protocols during pregnancy. Meghan didn't. She skipped out on events. She blamed fatigue and privacy. But insiders say she was hiding something bigger. And it wasn't just palace aides raising flags. Medical staff tied to royal births were reportedly left out of the loop. No one was contacted, no nurses assigned. The Queen's gynecologist, who has helped deliver royal babies for years, wasn't even called. How does that happen? How does a royal pregnancy get kept secret from the very people meant to handle it? Unless, of course, there was no pregnancy at all. Let's talk about surrogacy. That's the word echoing across royal halls right now. Did Meghan secretly use a surrogate and pretend to be pregnant herself? If so, why lie? Some believe it was all about image. Meghan wanted the world to see her as powerful, radiant, and in control. A perfect royal woman, even better than Kate, but using a surrogate in secret while pretending to carry the child, that's more than deception, that's a con. Palace insiders now say that there was deep concern about this even back then, but they stayed quiet, not out of agreement, but out of fear. Meghan and Harry had become a media powerhouse. Questioning them risked being labeled as cruel or racist, so the palace let it go, until now. Now, the silence has broken. Sources close to King Charles have said he was furious when he heard about the inconsistencies. William reportedly felt betrayed. The Queen, before her passing, had even started distancing herself from Meghan's version of events. She knew something didn't make sense. And now, years later, the evidence is mounting. Multiple former royal aides are pushing for a formal investigation. They want medical records, doctor names, real timelines. Because right now, everything Meghan and Harry shared looks suspicious. But what's even more shocking is their silence. As these accusations explode across the UK, Meghan and Harry have said nothing. No denials, no proof, just silence. And that silence is damning, because if you had nothing to hide, wouldn't you just show the truth? Instead, Meghan has gone back into PR mode, posting smiling photos, talking about motherhood, but she's not addressing the core issue. Did she fake her pregnancy? Let's be clear. No one is saying Archie doesn't exist. Of course he does. But how he came into the world is the real question. And if Meghan lied about that, she didn't just trick the royal family, she tricked the entire world. Millions of people believed in her, supported her, watched her cradle that bump with admiration. But now many feel fooled, used, played like pawns in her carefully crafted royal fantasy. And it's not just public betrayal. This deception cuts at the heart of the monarchy. The royal family stands on tradition, on trust, on truth. Lying about a royal birth, one of the most sacred duties in the institution, is more than scandal. It's an attack on the crown itself. That's why officials are reacting with quiet rage. Behind closed doors, the doors are being slammed shut. Meghan and Harry, once considered prodigal royals who might return one day, are now seen as exiles, permanently. No more royal roles, no more invites, no more soft touches. The palace is done playing nice. Their message is clear. Lie to the monarchy and you are no longer part of it. What's next? Insiders believe legal action might be considered. If the palace can prove that Meghan faked a royal pregnancy while using state resources, what are security, travel, and media coverage, there could be consequences. And even if there's no lawsuit, the damage is irreversible. Their brand, built on truth and authenticity, now looks hollow. How can Meghan go on claiming she's a victim of unfair treatment when she may have lied about one of the most important moments of her life? This scandal could tear down the empire they built. Netflix deals, book contracts, sponsorships, they're all based on Meghan's story. If that story is fake, those deals fall apart. The public won't back a liar. Not when the lie involves a child and a crown. And Harry? He's looking worse by the day. Either he was in on the lie, or cursor I, we wanna do a your bird does no one I, and you wanna know I do, or he got played by his own wife. Neither is a good look. Some say he's trying to save face, that he's distancing himself behind the scenes, but publicly, he's still standing beside her, quiet and complicit. Meanwhile, former staffers are speaking out, not all at once, but in waves. Each one sharing bits of the story, adding fuel to the fire. And the palace, for once, isn't stopping them. Why? Because this time, they want the truth out. They want Meghan's lies exposed for what they are. They want the world to see the damage she's done. And what about the media? Even the press, long hesitant to question Meghan, is turning. Headlines are growing sharper. Journalists are re-examining old footage. Suddenly, those weird baby bump photos aren't being brushed aside. They're being dissected. And the public, they're watching closely, waiting for answers that still haven't come. The longer Meghan stays silent, the worse it gets. Because in the court of public opinion, silence isn't golden. It's guilt. She could have come forward. She could have explained the medical issues, the choices, the truth, but she didn't. She let the lie live, she let the story grow, and now it's collapsing around her. If she lied to the palace, to the public, and to her own family, what else has she lied about? What other stories, what other claims were just part of a carefully written script? The Oprah interview, the racism allegations, the emotional breakdowns, the near-suicidal confessions. Were those all just pieces of the same performance? People are starting to ask, and they deserve answers. Because this isn't just about a fake bump, this is about character, trust, integrity. And Meghan Markle, the woman who said she just wanted privacy, may now go down in history not as a royal rebel, but as a royal fraud.